Hello and welcome to the Enspiral External Update, March 2021. I am your host and Enspiral Catalyst, Jorian. This series is here for you who's curious about Enspiral and this whole thing about Enspiral, not to give you the big ideas and the ethos of Enspiral, but to give you a more tactical view of Enspiral. This is a piece of communication that's very similar to one that we have internally, and I'm here just to tell you what are we folks talking about, what are we folks discussing, how are we evolving to give you a better idea of who we are. And today for the big updates, unfortunately today there's a couple of updates that I don't have any visuals because I can't show you the stuff. Sorry, but the three big things that are happening. Well, it's important to note that there was a big event happening in New Zealand right now. New Zealand is not on lockdown, so different universe, and they had the Summerfest, which is our biggest annual event over there. It was a bit surreal for me outside of New Zealand seeing that big gathering, but apparently it was a blast. Okay, so the three things that are happening is we are hiring a new catalyst. So my position, the position of the person who keeps the social fabric of the network active and maintains the critical functions. It's time for us to hire a new catalyst. So we're going through this process, and the catalyst is supposed to be at the very minimum 1 year in the position, ideally for over 2 years. So it is a big deal for us. We don't hire a lot of people, but the people we hire, we stay with them for a while. So this is exciting and terrifying. Okay, the second thing is that we are forming a new round of pods. If you don't know, we have this technology called the care pods, which is crucial to the way that we do things, because it creates points in the network where you can go and meet with few people, not talking to a vast multitude of people, but just talk with 2 or 3 people and deepen the conversations. And those pods can be about anything. They can be about taking care of each other's emotional states, but they can also be book clubs, and they can be people trying to learn how to do something together. They can be project pods, so there's a lot of variation there. And a couple of times a year we put out announcements to help people who are interested in pods to start those pods. This is happening. And the last thing is that if you enjoyed the Better Work Together book, we are currently thinking how to expand this project, not only to create other books, which is something that we think about, but to create ally products to the book that we already have, and to bundle the book together with other stuff that we already have in our network, and we think would benefit people who like this book immensely, but we never had the energy to put everything together in one space. And we're still thinking what's the best way to do that, but so far it has there's a lot of a positive energy around this project, and some people who have the energy to push it forward. So in the next few months, I will announce here a couple of experiments we're running, and you can help us figure out if we're doing the right thing. But if you like the Better Work Together book, this is for you. We're gonna have a gift for you soon. Cool. So what have we been writing about? What have we been talking about? First of all, I showed up in a documentary called Work in Progress, which is a documentary about the future of work. I gave an interview about my work with Enspiral. Unfortunately, this documentary is not widespread available at this point. It's still going to festivals and this sort of thing. But they have this amazing trailer online already, and you can follow the YouTube channel for more updates on this work. And they have amazing speakers, amazing people they found to interview. I am honored to be among those people because they really rock the house with the quality of the speakers. So if you're interested in the Edmund Hillary Fellowship, we have this podcast here. We didn't make it, but it's from Yosef. That's part of a network. He was the CEO of the Edmund Hillary Fellowship for a while, for years, and he just stepped down. So in his podcast here, he talks about his journey over there. And if you're interested in the Edmund Hillary Fellowship, it's a must watch, must listen podcast. Listen, yeah. And if you don't know what the Edmund Hillary Fellowship is, it opens a precedent for the world and how nations could deal with visa and attract talent. So give it a look. It's a big deal. Okay, so Greater Than, which is a Inspire venture, has been producing some of the best comms we've seen in a long time, and they've been doing this in a series of synchronous calls. So calls that you can join on Zoom, ask questions, and be there. The next one is this one about the pitfalls of self-managing teams. But this is the third in a series of many that are already scheduled. So if you're interested, all the links will be below, by the way. This link and all the other ones, so don't worry about it. And they have a YouTube channel where you see those two here are the talks that already happened, and every single talk will be posted here as well. Of course, if you can be there synchronously and interact, that would be best. But if you can't, if you have an appointment or if the time zone doesn't work out for you, you will have all the knowledge compiled into a video and put there on YouTube for you. So I also recommend the YouTube channel. So Miles wrote this fascinating article about unstartupping his startup, and he's a tech guy. He's a dev, but he's approaching this whole thing from a very storyteller perspective, talking about the myths and the stories around startup that we are led to believe, and how his project, his company, is not really following any of those stories, even the really good ones like the mission-driven social enterprise. Sounds amazing, right? But there are problems there as well. So he's trying to he's been led to invent some sort of new myth so that he can do his work in the best way possible. It's a fascinating take on the whole startup thing, especially if you're interested in this whole Silicon Valley culture and all that. I think it's an interesting read from a far away but connected perspective. So Michal and Silvia have this course I already shared here about forming new habits. It's a year-long course, and now they just released a new format of the course, which is much shorter. It's a 2-month sprint format of the course. So if you have the time right now, maybe because of the pandemic and everything, and you feel that this is a moment that you wanted to build something to last, one of the best things you can do is to build a habit. So they do just that. The link will be below if you want to check it out. So Helen Triggs, Richard Bartlett, and Natty Lombardo are hosting this session about care at work, most specifically about how care work how can it be integrated to the rest of the workspace, and how can we deliberately, intentionally talk about care work in our workspaces, which is a subject that really needs more literature, really needs more attention. So if that's interesting to you. Again, links all below. Stephen Reed shared his latest newsletter with us, which is always full of cool stuff, especially now that he has Seeds, his new, the evolution of Seeds, which is a project of his that just launched a new token coin. And this time he's pointing as the main feature, as the icing on the cake, this live stream with Charles Eisenstein on the regenerative renaissance, which will be surely fascinating. If you're interested in this guy, if you don't know who this guy is, you should. But if you're interested, give it a look. Not only to that, but as always, Stephen's newsletter is full of goodies. Okay, so let's go for the moment of Zen, and this is mine today. It is Rich Appreciation Day. So once upon a time, I was having a problem. I couldn't get an apartment here, and I promised. Sorry, and I was getting desperate. And a friend of mine, who happens to be a Kiwi from New Zealand, got me in contact with this person, who I got the apartment from in Berlin. So it was a long shot. It was a long shot, and I promised him that I would celebrate his act of kindness and help for the years to come. And a couple of weeks ago, it was Rich Appreciation Day, a day in which I put posters just telling the world how Rich is an amazing guy in my own particular way. So those are some of the posters. Yeah, don't worry, anti-corona and anti-literary measures were taken after all those photos, but that's some sweet comedy for you folks. A little bit of Monty Python. And with that, I leave you for today. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'll see you next month. Ciao.